A new report from the Trevor Project looks at the mental health of the LGBTQ plus youth in California. It explores issues like access to health care, conversion therapy, bullying, discrimination, and anti-LGBTQ policies. We're joined now live this morning by Dr. Ronita Nath. She is the vice president of the research at the Trevor Project. Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So first, can you break down for us some of the key trends you found on the West Coast, especially here in California?
Yes, for sure. So in California, LGBTQ plus youth, continue to face serious mental health challenges. In total, there were 1,800 LGBTQ plus youth surveyed in California. More than a third had seriously considered suicide in the past year, including 39% of transgender and non-binary youth. And what is most surprising is that even in the most accepting states, which includes California, nearly half of LGBTQ plus youth still can't access the mental health care they need. Additionally, we know that affirming spaces and inclusive policies are universally associated with lower suicide risk across all states, yet affirming spaces remain limited in California. Less than 40% said they have an affirming home. Less than half said they were, at an affirming school. On top of that, bullying is all too common. About 1 in 3 in California faced in-person bullying, and more than a quarter experienced it online. So, there's still a lot of work to do to ensure that LGBTQ plus youth feel safe and supported in California.
That is so sad. How does this compare to previous research? Is it better? Is it worse? I mean, these numbers are still pretty abysmal.
Right. So, there's some encouraging signs. Community acceptance in California is much higher than, the national average and than what it was, a couple years ago when we did this report. It's 81% of LGBTQ plus youth say they feel accepted in their communities, which is, a really important protective factor. We're also seeing lower rates of suicide risk, anxiety, and depression compared to, a couple years ago, and fewer young people are reporting experiences with conversion therapy. So, while there's still a lot of work to do, especially around access to affirming homes, schools, and mental health care, these signs show that supportive communities and inclusive environments can really make a difference for LGBTQ plus young people.
Yeah, and I think it's so important that we have awareness like this study to really understand the magnitude of this problem. There was also another study done by Hope Lab and Born This Way Foundation. It found that 44% of LGBTQ youth actually feel safer expressing their identities online compared to only 9% who said they feel safe in person. What's your take on that? Because that's kind of counter to a lot of other youth who get bullied online.
Correct. Yeah, there's a lot of safe spaces for folks online. So it depends on, where are young people going online. And, we do have at Trevor Project, Trevor Space, where, LGBTQ young people come together and, create the safe space. And it's very important for them to have safe spaces to go to. And we are seeing that some folks are saying, online spaces are where they do feel safe. And it's important to note that young people are experiencing, very high mental strain because they're facing relentless attacks politically, socially, and even in their daily lives, particularly transgender, non-binary young people. And, they're going to spaces where, they're not mistreated, stigmatized, and denied support. So, I guess it really depends on the spaces they are going to, and more research needs to look at, where are these online communities where young people are feeling, safe.
Yeah, that issue has been used as such a political football of late. How can allies support the LGBTQ youth in their own families and then in their communities abroad?
Right. So, yeah, definitely. Allies are very important for making, California and, the U.S. a safer and more affirming space for LGBTQ plus youth. We need to take action at every level, in homes, within schools, in the community, and through policy to support LGBTQ plus youth. And, that starts by listening to them. And in the state report for California, we have talked to LGBTQ plus youth and listed what young people themselves are saying for allies to support them, and that includes trusting that young people know who they are, standing up for young people, not supporting anti-LGBTQ plus politicians, asking questions or looking at things on our own about LGBTQ plus identities to better understand, and respecting their pronouns. So it just goes to show you, you don't need to be an expert in LGBTQ plus topics or identities to show young people that you care, no matter where you live or how you were raised or your comfort level with LGBTQ plus topics. It's never too late to show them that, they are loved and supported.
Well, we will leave it there on that note. Dr. Ronita Nath, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
So much.